Hey guys, welcome to another attempt at me trying to read ebooks. I'm going to give a little bit of background here, but I have said for years that I would like to enjoy reading ebooks, and I struggle so bad. So in this course of these next few days, this week, whatever it is the start of a 3-month stretch of me trying to like ebooks. I did a video just over a year ago where I tried to read ebooks for a week and it didn't go overly well. Like, sure, I did it, but after that I didn't care to really pick them up again. But there are some severe advantages to ebooks, and I want to give a little bit of my history with them, devices I've been using, devices I want to use, etc. So being Canadian, I feel like there is some major advantages and disadvantages to ebooks. First of all, books are more expensive here, shipping is more expensive here. So if I could like ebooks, that could save me a lot of money. A little bit about my history. A few years ago, I owned a Kindle Paperwhite. I didn't use it, so I sold it. Then I tried using my Samsung tablet that I have, and that was terrible. It was too big and bulky. I never had any battery on there when it was time to read, so that was also terrible. Then last year when I tried, I used what was one of my kids' Amazon Fire tablet. This went better. It has a longer battery life. There is also the advantage that I can read library books on here, and it's color. So there's a lot of advantages here. The battery lasts me about a book and a half if I don't have a long break in between. So that's not bad. I'm never really out long enough to read more than that without being able to charge it. So I thought this would work better than it has. It's not great for outdoor reading because of the glare, but like I said, I can read library books on here. And my other option is the Kindle, which I've stole my husband's for this experiment. I cannot read library books on here. It's not possible in Canada. It's dumb. I've been waiting for it for years. I thought maybe they would bring it here eventually, and they have not. So that is my eternal struggle here. If I could get library books on here, I do not think I would have this flip-flop of like, should I buy myself another Kindle? But because I can only read Kindle books or PDFs that I sent myself, it's a little bit more, makes me hesitate more. Plus they're really expensive right now. So my goal is to use this for about the next 3 months. I can get a 3-month subscription to Kindle Unlimited for like 99 cents, I think, through his account and using his Kindle. And then by the time that's over, we will be close to Black Friday. And I think, you know, that's generally the lowest that they go. I have also thought about like a Kobo or something like that, because you can use a Kobo with the Libby app here in Canada. But I have tons of Kindle books, and I love the idea of Kindle Unlimited. And my Kindle account is already full of books that I have not read, so that does not seem financially like a good choice for me to do that. So I think the Kindle is the best fit. So for the next 3 months, I'm gonna steal his Kindle while I'm attempting this and see how it goes. I do not want to use his all the time because he actually does use it, so I'll use it a little bit over the next 3 months, see if it's worth it. That's my backstory. This is my history. This is where I'm going. This is what I'm thinking. One of the things that my Paperwhite either didn't do or I didn't know how to set it is put the image of the book on the front screen. So I feel like this is a bit of a game changer, because one thing I don't like about devices is I don't see my book, so therefore I'm not tempted to pick it up. But if I can see the cover of the book that I'm reading, will that tempt me more? I kind of think so. I have, like I said, a ton of Kindle books I can be reading, but I am using my husband's account right now, so I don't have like my whole backlog of ebooks. As of right now, I'm starting The Time Door. This is by Shannon McDermott. This is an e-arc from Enclave. I'll put the exact date it's coming out here. It's a science fiction story. Really intrigued so far. After I'm done this, my plan is to get the Kindle Unlimited subscription for a few months and mostly read books from there, as well as some Enclave arcs that I get. So let's see how this goes over the next week-ish. My plan is definitely to finish The Time Door. Not sure where I'm going to go from here, but to give you a little summary synopsis of what's going on so far, I'm not very far. Let's give this a minute to wake up. One thing I do not like about the Kindle is highlighting things. I feel like it's not very intuitive. I'm 8% into this book, so nothing I say is spoilery. We start out with these 4 people. One's a doctor, one's a scientist, like those kind of people. They are sent to Mars. They arrive on Mars on like in the prologue of the book. Then in chapter 1, we find out that they were supposed to be there for 4 years, and now they are finding out they're going to be stuck there for another 5 years, which is so interesting because just last week I read an article about 2 astronauts from this, I think they're from the States, that were supposed to go to the International Space Station for a few days a week, and now might have to be there for 8 or 9 months. I'm fuzzy on the details because it didn't correlate as much, but now this is feeling like quite realistic, and it's giving me a little bit of anxiety. I have a little bit of a like I'm drowning feel. So it kind of reminds me of The Martian in the general idea, but I'm not really sure where things are going to go from here at this point. So this is the ebook I'm going to be starting with. I'm doing live reading sprints on my channel later tonight, so I will probably read this. I am also currently reading a physical short story collection, The World of Jeeves, that I might pick up a little bit as well. But ultimately, my goal is to try to read ebooks for the next little while. I really do like the cover thing. That might be a game changer for me. Alright, a little Kindle update. I finished The Time Door yesterday, and then my neighbors are getting some work done. I don't know if the saw is coming through. Time for another book. So, couple things. Yesterday I spent some time watching YouTube videos. Kobo versus Kindle versus everything. I feel confident I don't want to read on my phone or on my tablet. My phone, too distracting. It looks like I'm just on my phone to my kids. I want a device that is like, this is for reading books. So definitely need some kind of reader. I was wondering about a Kobo because you can get library books here in Canada, but every video I actually watched strongly suggested Kobo. Even though this one video, that's kind of the way she was leaning, her video ended up making me realize, no, I need a Kindle. Because indie authors, it's so much easier for them to get on Kindle. And that is a big reason I want to read, or to get a Kindle, is because there's a lot of indie authors. I would like to read their books, I would like to support them, but some of them I'm not really willing to risk if this is their first book, or, you know, I don't know much about them. I would rather read it on Kindle via Kindle Unlimited, or you buy the ebook or something, spend a fraction of the money until I know it's good. So even though the video was trying to convince me to go the Kobo route, it made me realize I want a Kindle. Although another video made me wonder if I want a Kindle Oasis, because it's a little bit bigger and has the page turning things. But it's bigger, so it's harder to take along. And I think they've kind of discontinued it. It's not as super easy to get a hold of, but that's like playing at the back of my mind as well. Or I just get a Paperwhite. I think that's what Jared has. I'm not even sure. A couple things I'm not liking. So I finished The Time Door. Enjoyed it. Definitely cross between Andy Weir's writing The Martian, Project Hail Mary, reminded me of Recorder from Kathy McCrum. The only thing I was missing was humor. I was gonna give it 4 stars, but the ending was like, okay, that's 4.5. Docked half off because I feel like there could have been some humor inserted there. So I went onto Jared's account, got him Kindle Unlimited 3 months for 99 cents. So I have it until the middle of November. So I should be able to make a decision for Black Friday. I got 2 books out via Kindle Unlimited that I am debating between right now. I have Deathmark by Kate Stradling. I've read 2 of her books, 3 of her books so far, and they've all been, definitely 2 of them have been 5 stars. I can't remember if the other one was 5 or 4 or 4.5. Her books have been really high. So I heard Deathmark is a great place to go next. Ashley from Ashley's Bookshelf, she's the one that's always telling me where to go next with Kate Stradling's writing. I feel like her books, I probably could just buy the print copy because she's proven herself to me, but she is an indie author, and I would like to, if I have Kindle Unlimited and I think all her books are on here, may as well read them on here, and then if I decide I love it and want to own it, then I can buy it. And then the other book, Holly from Lovely Day with Holly, recommended this one to me a while ago. It's called Mrs. Smith's Suspects, and it's like an old people murder club mystery type thing. I'm not really sure. I'm kind of in the mood for that. I'm getting into the time of year where I'm like really craving some mystery stuff, some suspense, some thriller. I think this will be like more like cozy mystery, and that is a video I would like to do soon, cozy mystery recommendations in my TBR. So I don't have time to read right now, but I'm leaning towards Mrs. Smith's Suspects next. But I could go either way there. The other issue, problem, downside I'm finding for the Kindle is I always like to read a non-fiction in the morning after I read my Bible. And it's not easy, like it is easy, but it's not as easy to flip between different books in here as it is if you had a stack of books and you just, you know, opened it up and started reading. You have to remember that you are reading a different book than is shown on the cover here, and then I read my nonfiction downstairs in the morning, which is fine. Like right now I have a lot of physical books I can be reading for that, but I'm just thinking to the future. I think if I would probably just be reading 1 book at a time on my Kindle. Although what if it was a nonfiction? I don't know. Do you guys read multiple books at a time on Kindle? I would like to know that.
Train ride just to see you, ride for hours just to please you. You don't know how much I need you.
So I did end up starting Mrs. Smith's Suspects yesterday. It's really weird on Goodreads. It says it's called Claude, Gord, Alice, and Maud. That's kind of like the subtitle. Or is Mrs. Smith's Suspects the series? I think there's only 1 book in there so far. So I started it, enjoying it. I think I'm like 35-ish% through. All of a sudden last night, 2 in the morning, our smoke detector was going off. Always the middle of the night. I think the battery just needed to be changed. Seems to be doing great now. But first time they went off in this house. So, you know, you're just a little on edge. So I picked this up and did some reading at like 2:30 in the morning. That was nice, very handy to be able to read in the dark and kind of read until I felt sleepy again. Oh, I feel like one of the things I thought of that people might suggest is maybe that Jared and I share a Kindle because I'm stealing his, and why not just share one? And I don't want to like stop him from using his own Kindle, because when someone is reading a book on here, it's kind of like theirs for the time. Also, we have different Amazon accounts, so all the Kindle books I've purchased or gotten for free in the past are all on my account. This is hooked up to his account. So yeah, at this point, interestingly, leaning towards getting a Kindle. I didn't think it would be so easy. The only real trouble I'm having is seeing like all my physical books staring at me while I'm reading non-physical books. That's a bit hard, but I am changing my book buying habits, so I'm adding less to these shelves, so hopefully over time that would lessen. But so far the book is going well, the reading on the Kindle is going well. We will see if it continues this way or not.
In a world of green, just like a dream, you and I standing wild and free, with petals so golden, the sun's warm kiss Whispers of the breeze, secrets unfold. It's you that I need, it's you that I want. When the world gets cold, it's you and me. When the sun comes back, you'll see. Oh, dandelion, the strength that you've shown, stronger each year. Look how we hold on through the toughest of times. We still stand strong. Through pavement we will grow. Forever we will grow.
Okay, we've been park hopping for the last 2 days, going to different playgrounds so the kids can play. Some days I get more reading done in these park hopping adventures than others. Yesterday's was great. Today's, there was a lot of kids from other things, and I kept having to figure out where are my kids? Are they still here? Did they run off? So I didn't get as much reading done today. But I am really enjoying Mrs. Smith's Suspects. I don't know who did it. And I don't know if our options of the people on the cover are like the true options, or if some of the other characters are actually options too, and she's just trying to throw us off. Yeah, how far am I now? 60 some percent through. Let's see, waking up. 66% through. The one thing about a Kindle is, like, if you want to just wake it up and you're like someone like me who will read, you know, sometimes just a page at a time or something like that, it does waste a little bit of time, but you also never have to truly find your spot like you do with a physical book. You have to pick it up, open your page, figure out which page you're on. It's not really that big of a deal. Last night I was looking through Kindle Unlimited for cozy mysteries. I definitely go hard with one genre for a little bit. I'm learning this about myself, depending on what I'm in the mood for, the season. Now that we are getting closer to autumn, I'm in the mood for a few more cozy mysteries. This one's hitting the spot, and I know I want to read some others. And so I was making a list of some on Kindle Unlimited that I want to read. I do have lists on Amazon that I can link where I have been putting all my either Kindle Unlimited that I have read and enjoyed, or mostly what it is ones that I want to read or have heard good things about or I'm interested in for some reason or another. I will leave that linked below in case you need some Kindle Unlimited ideas. I'm going to be testing out if this is a good option for me or not. After the 3 months, I think it's $10 or $12 a month. I don't remember exactly. I don't think I've ever really paid full price for it. I'm curious to know if it will be worth it for me or not. One of the big reasons I want Kindle Unlimited is to read indie books. So just depending if they are like $3 to $5, I would have to read a few of them each month to make it worth it, which I might be able to do. We'll see. This is continuing this experiment. If you guys use Kindle Unlimited, I would love to hear if you find it's worth it for you. I mean, if you do use it, obviously you probably think it's worth it. Do you guys have some favorite books that you've read on Kindle Unlimited? The only thing is with the lists that I've made, so I've made a Canadian one and an American one, I can see if something is on KU in Canada, but I can't see if it is on the American version. So I'm assuming they're the same. I'm putting the same books on each list, but they might not be. And then sometimes people take them off of there, so the list might not be completely updated all the time. As of right now, the Canadian one is more updated because that's the one that affects me. Oddly, I can't access KU books from Canada that are on .com, but I have an audible.com account because that's originally all there was. It's weird what has to be one way and has to, like, can be either way. That, yeah, whatever. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on the whole Kindle Unlimited thing. I almost wonder if it's something that I get for like a few months each year and then focus on those books for that time. I'm not really sure yet. I think I'm gonna end this vlog here. I think I've talked enough throughout the last couple of days about some of my thoughts with reading ebooks. It's actually been better than I thought. I'm going to finish this book and then possibly check out Deathmark next, or read a physical book next. I'm not sure. It's taken me longer to read the 2 books, but I think that's just because I've been doing a lot of other things besides just reading. Sometimes I have focused reading time and sometimes a lot of other stuff is going on in life, which is fun. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you guys have a favorite Kindle. Is the Paperwhite your preferred one? Is there something else? Give me all your ideas and options. I'm going to be exploring this over the next few months and I'm curious to see where I end up. Although at this point, my guess is I will be doing the Paperwhite route around Black Friday. That's my guess, but we'll see. Thanks for following me on this journey. Let's just continue to chat in the comments.